How's it going, guys? So, this is one of my first videos on a little bit of information that I have gained in my 6 months of eating a carnivore diet. Now, uh, as I just said, I've been eating the carnivore diet for 6 months. And in that 6 months, within 4 months, I had lost 70 pounds. 70 pounds in 4 months. Okay. Now, I haven't been 100% carnivore. I'll admit, I'll be honest. I have slipped a couple times for a couple weekends where, I pulled myself out of ketosis and then put myself back into ketosis. So I am well experienced with actually jumping in and out of ketosis on the fly if I want to. Now, it does take me roughly 5 to 6 days to get into ketosis before it actually starts functioning. But after being in ketosis for, pretty much 6 months now, my body flips back and forth. It's been adapted, they like to say, fat adapted, and I can kind of flip back and forth pretty decently. Now, one of the main things that I have found out during this carnivore diet is hormones and eating waves. Eating waves being your hunger waves. Okay, so you get hunger, how hard it hits, how often the waves, the roller coaster of hunger. Now, um, fats control your hormones, from my understanding. Now, let me put this out there too, guys. I'm not a doctor. I am not a physician. I am not a nutritionist. I am just a guy that eats a carnivore diet and studies the diet and metabolic processes and weight loss, weight gain, muscle building, bodybuilding, you might call it. I study all the aspects of those topics, and I've been doing that for a couple years now, so I know quite a bit of information about it and how to apply them. So let me just put that out there. I am not a doctor, so this advice is, take it with a grain of salt if you want, but it has worked for me, and I can tell you it definitely is relevant to what we're talking about. So, hormones are controlled by the fats that you eat. The fat that you eat kind of controls the hormones in your body, keeps things balanced. So if you're eating a low fat diet, tons of carbs, your hormones might be out of whack. Okay, now there are other reasons that your hormones could be out of whack, yes, but this is a good, if you're not eating properly, this can bring them into check. Now these pulled my hormones into check big time when I started eating the carnivore diet. And the hunger waves, so to deal with hunger waves, guys, you want to eat. So let me put it this way, to balance out your hunger waves, right? If you have massive hunger waves right now and they hit you really hard and you want to kind of balance that out, a good way to do that is to actually adapt the carnivore diet for like a week, put yourself into ketosis. And what happens over like a week or two of eating a carnivore diet, guys, is your hunger waves, they drop. You're not eating carbs anymore. You're not spiking insulin. When you spike insulin, that causes the roller coaster of hunger waves. It also, ghrelin hits, leptin. Those are hormones that control hunger and satiation. Ghrelin controlling your hunger, leptin controlling satiation. Now, when you eat meat for the week or two, what that's going to do is it's going to empty your body out of the carbs. You're kind of going to go into what they call a keto flu, which is pretty much withdrawal from sugar. Your body's so used to eating sugar at the moment. A lot of people, because we are sugar burners, a lot of people on the earth right now are sugar burners. All you eat is sugar in every meal. So your mitochondria, which are the powerhouses of your cell, is what gives you your power to your body. It creates ATP, energy, adenosine triphosphate, and that is the energy your body runs on. Okay. So your mitochondria, they can get locked into sugar burning mode because they're just using sugar nonstop all day, every day. There's no break. They kind of get adapted to burning sugar, right? So they get locked into this sugar burning state and it becomes hard for them to burn fat. Okay, so what ketosis does is it kind of switches you out of that sugar burning state. Okay, and it switches your cells. It tells your cells, hey, there's no more sugar here. We're going to start using body fat for fuel. Okay, so that's going to drain the sugar from your system. And what that's going to do in turn, guys, is completely neutralize your hunger waves. You're not going to be getting hungry every 2 hours or 3 hours. You're going to neutralize the hunger wave. And when you neutralize the hunger wave, guys, it's not hard to start it up again. If you started eating some light carbs again or whatever, you start eating carbs again, you'll start getting that slight roller coaster, you know, and you can start the waves all over again. This brings the ghrelin up, which gives you the hunger and whatnot. Now, when you're in ketosis, your body burns your fat and it turns it into what's called ketones. Now, your body absolutely loves ketones, guys. Your brain thrives on ketones, guys. The ketones are equivalent to, I can't remember the name of the movie. There was a movie back in the day where a guy takes a pill and all of a sudden he's like a super genius for the day. You know, he's just super genius, right? This is equivalent to ketones. Ketones pretty much do this for you. They go to your brain. They neutralize the ghrelin hormone, which causes hunger. Okay, so when you're in ketosis, the ketones being created from your fat go to your brain, neutralize your hunger hormones. That kind of keeps you in that you're not really hungry state, right? Okay. Also, it makes you super sharp. You become extremely sharp in your mind. Your brain loves ketones. The other thing they do, guys, is they really help with depression. If you have any form of depression, I was massively depressed, guys, as I had a disability for 15 years. I felt robbed of my life. I lost out on all my youth and good health and everything. And my body was breaking down. I was severely depressed. As soon as I got on this diet, guys, that depression, it kind of vanished. But then again, at the same time, I kind of healed my disability up so I could function again too. So that kind of plays a part in it. But the ketones definitely put me on the path to doing that. It gave me that headspace that I wasn't so depressed. I was just, I had hope. They gave me hope. I'll tell you that. Okay. Now, if you were to do this process where you eat the meat and for a week or two, I mean, you're basically putting yourself onto a carnivore diet, right? And here's a trick that I learned in my time of getting in and out of ketosis. Now, if you're going to be getting into ketosis for weight loss, which is great, there is a trick. So to get into ketosis, you simply have to not eat carbs. Okay. So when you're on day 1, 3, and 4, 5 of this process, and you're getting those huge hunger spikes still, all right, before they've leveled out, you can eat as much meat as you want. Bacon, pepperoni sticks, chicken, steak, ground meat, eggs. You can eat all of this stuff, cheese. You can eat it all as much as you want. Now, I'm not going to say you're not going to eat in a surplus and put on a pound or two in that week, but what it will do is get you through that week much easier, much more satiated and not feeling those hunger spikes every single day and suffering. And then all of a sudden, after about a week, when your body decides to start using your body fat for fuel, it's going to level right out. You'll suddenly miss breakfast and you'll be like, oh my God, I completely missed breakfast. I can't believe it. You just won't be hungry. Your hunger will completely level out. Now, also, you're not going to be able to eat a boatload of meat. Meat and protein is extremely satiating. It fills you up so much more than carbs, guys. You can eat protein and meat and be fueled for hours and hours and hours without getting any hunger spikes at all. Another thing I wanted to touch on before I close down this video is a lot of people in the world nowadays, they don't eat enough. Okay, and that's a big problem, guys. I'm going to break this down. You don't eat enough Now, your body runs on calories. It has a maintenance calories, which means if you were to sit still all day, you would burn that many calories doing nothing pretty much. And let's call it 2,000 calories for an example. Okay. Your body needs calories to run. It needs calories to function. And that's your baseline. That's like your minimum to maintain proper function in your body. That's not to say you can't function on lower calories. You can, but you'll be deprived of energy and slacking. Okay. So think of it this way. If your body's trying to heal, say you got an injury and you're trying to heal that up. If your body doesn't have enough energy just to run your body, how do you think it's going to pull the energy up to put towards healing that injury? You get what I'm saying? Right? You need energy. This is how muscle building works. You have to eat in a surplus. So you have that surplus of energy to put towards the protein and everything else you've done to build the muscle, guys. Okay. So calories and your calorie maintenance, your calories that you eat every day are extremely important. I want to put that out there. So I'm saying a lot of people don't eat enough, whether it be the price of groceries. I know it's an absolute nightmare, guys. I don't blame you. If you're only eating one meal a day or a trash meal a day, I don't blame you. That's the world we're stuck in, unfortunately. But you are going to need to eat a proper calorie regimen for your body to actually start functioning. If you eat too little, you'll literally crash your metabolism, and your metabolism will completely just like shut down. You won't be burning fat or anything because you've crashed it, because your metabolism kind of runs off of how much food you put into your body. You know, it kind of scales it to that. That's a big factor in how fast your metabolism runs, is how much food you're putting into your body. So if you're only eating one meal a day, you're not eating enough food. Okay. And that was one thing I had to learn because I was only eating one meal a day. And since I've started eating 3 meals a day now my 3 meals is a protein shake with my coffee in the morning with a little bit of MCT oil once in a while. Okay. My lunch is eggs and bacon, 5 eggs for 3 or 4 strips of bacon. My dinner is usually a chicken breast with a couple pepperoni sticks, some pepperonis, maybe an egg or a few pieces of bacon. And I consume my shake at 8 in the morning. I consume my eggs and lunch at 11, and I eat my dinner at 2 or 2:30 or 3. And that gives me that intermediate fasting through the rest of the afternoon, throughout the night, and back into the next day. And that's helped me tremendously. Okay, so calorie surplus is extremely important, guys, or calories to get enough calories, not a surplus, but to get enough calories is extremely important, guys. Protein, you're going to be getting tons of protein, guys. You need to get 0.7 grams of protein per pound of ideal body weight. That's the body weight you want to be. If you're 300 pounds and you want to be 200 pounds, ideally, you need to multiply 0.7 by 200 pounds. And that is the grams of protein you need to eat daily to maintain the muscle on your body. As when we're dieting and in a deficit, we're going to be losing muscle. Now, protein is extremely important, guys. Protein is key. If you don't have enough protein, you are in trouble. Now, protein is also super satiating as well. The big thing here, guys, and one of the biggest factors is that your body actually uses about 30% of the protein calories to convert it, just to be able to use it. So you can pretty much knock off 30% of the calories from the protein you're taking in, because you're going to use that your body use that energy just to convert the protein. Okay. Now, the other major important thing here, guys, is resistance training. I wanted to get this in on this video because this is super important information. You need to get some resistance training, and I believe calisthenics would probably work too, which is like body weight, pull-ups, sit-ups, stuff like that. Now, you don't need to go using free weights and dumbbells. You can go and use resistance training machines, and you don't have to do heavy. You can go light. The thing is, guys, you need to tell, by doing that daily or every other day, you're telling your body, we're using these muscles daily. They are extremely important. Don't break them down for energy. And that's the signaling that you need to send to your body, to your mind, to your brain, the whole bit, to keep your body from burning your muscle as energy and breaking it down. So resistance training and protein, those two things are number one when it comes to dieting, because you don't want to be losing the muscle on your body. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. And do me a favor and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more. I'm going to have a lot more coming around. I'm throwing myself headfirst into this channel over the next bit here. I got a ton of information to share. If you liked the information, hit that like button. It would help the algorithm and it would help to push the channel. That would be greatly appreciated. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below and I will get back to you as soon as possible. And with that being said, guys, have yourselves an excellent day.